On tonight's North Fulton Prep Rally, the pigskin is flying. We've got your high school football action from around North Fulton. Roswell opens their season against a familiar foe in Collins Hill. The two teams meeting for the third time in a year. Could the Hornets hold on? Northview looking for a much better season, and one way to pick up a win is to schedule Meadow Creek. We'll show you how bad this one got. And Johns Creek starts its second year of football against Rome. Can the Glads build on last season and run away with a win? So get ready for all the big hits and standout plays. Football's back on North Fulton Prep Rally right now.
Comcast presents your source for North Fulton High School sports. This is North Fulton Prep Rally.
Hello, and welcome to this edition of North Fulton Prep Rally, your weekly high school sports program featuring the very best North Fulton high school action. I'm Teddy Williams, joined by Nathan Shutter year-round on Comcast Channel 25. Catch us here weeknights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. And Nathan, it was a good first weekend for the North Fulton schools, but what came off and impressed you the most?
It was an unbelievable start to the season. I mean, all but one team locally here in North Fulton won. So, I mean, if that's an omen for the rest of the season, it could be a good, very good year here in North Fulton.
I agree. Well, let's go to the highlights, and we start over at Roswell, where the Hornets squared off with the Collins Hill for the third time in the past year. And we're looking to break a two-game losing streak to the Eagles. NFPR's Daniel Schur has more.
A couple of familiar foes getting together to start the season. Collins Hill traveling to Roswell. First quarter action, Raimani over the middle to Thomas McCarter, and he's got some room to run, takes it all the way down to the 1-yard line, and they would punch it in from there. Corey Wilson taking the handoff and banging his way in for the touchdown. Makes it 7-0 Roswell. But Collins Hill would come right back. Jordan Parker gets the handoff, finds the hole, and finds the end zone for the touchdown. We are all knotted at 7. Second quarter now. Roswell back to the run game. Andrew Quatang going to the outside, breaks a tackle, and strolls in for the touchdown. Makes it 14-7. Then more from the Roswell offense and more from Quatang, diving his way in for the 1-yard score. Puts the Hornets up 21-7. Third quarter now, Eagles answering back. Parker, the 1-yard plunge of his own, cuts the lead to 21-14. Then fourth quarter now, Collins Hill settles for a field goal. Mitchell Blanchard knocks it through from 30 yards out, cuts the lead to 21-17. Then Collins Hill would drive it again. Bradley Johnson with a strike to Tevin Holiday. He goes in for the 31-yard touchdown. Eagles now on top, 24-21. Then one last chance for Roswell. Ryan Monty back to pass, but he is going to get picked off by Connor Boston to seal it. And Collins Hill comes back to win 24-21 over Roswell.
Well, Nathan, I think it's safe to say that the Roswell faithful don't want to see any part of Collins Hill on that schedule anytime soon.
Yeah, it's tough to lose to a team once, let alone 3 times in about 12-month span. But hey, Collins Hill is a very good team. Roswell is a very good team. They could have won any of those 3 meetings. They were all very close games, and Roswell knows it. They know they can go toe-to-toe with powers like Collins Hill, and that should give them a lot of confidence moving forward. They have a couple more very tough non-region games, but hey, they lost all of those last year and still came back to win the region. I don't think they're going to lose them all again this year, so this Roswell team is very good. They're going to be a competitor in Region 6 this season.
You're right. I mean, Roswell was in control of the game pretty much the entire time, but what was the difference in this one?
Well, not scoring in the second half for starters. That's tough, getting shut out 17-0 that second half, but not stopping the run. Parker, the running back for Collins Hill, rushed for over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. They had a brand new quarterback starting. That gave him a lot of confidence when your running back's running for over 200 yards. You have to stop the run at any level of football. Unfortunately, Roswell wasn't able to do it, and they paid the price in this game, falling to Collins Hill. Hopefully they can work on those things in time for Peachtree Ridge this week, which should be another very good game.
Well, I don't know how many teams in the state could have stopped that running back for Collins Hill. He was something special. But let's get back to the highlights. And Northview only had 1 victory last season, and that came against their Week 1 opponent, Meadow Creek. Could history repeat itself for the Titans? Daryl Schur has the call.
Meadow Creek starting their season against Northview. The good news is that someone had to win this one. First quarter, Radwan Azahaku gets sacked by Marcus Fenderson for the loss. But Azahaku would get the Mustangs moving out of the gun. He pulls it down, and he's going straight up the gut for the big game and the first down. But they would be forced to punt, and that was not a good thing. The bad snap, and David Lee is right there to bring him down. Second quarter now, the Titans go into the ground game. Terrence Upshaw cutting to the sideline, and he is going to pick up the first down to move the chains. And then Evan Jacks out of the gun, the fake, and he's going to take it himself, fighting his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Northview takes a 7-0 lead. Then the Titans, they would drive it again. Upshaw fighting for the extra yards, but he is going to get stripped and coughs it up. Malik Saunders falls on it for the Mustangs, but that momentum wouldn't last long. Azahaku airing it out, but Terry Brown is going to come down with it for the interception, and he is taking it all the way back to the 30-yard line. And the Titans would strike again. Terrence Upshaw going right up the middle for the 5-yard touchdown. And Northview rolls Meadow Creek 35-0.
And the Titans start off with the win, but this is a game they're supposed to win, right?
Well, you're playing a team that's only won one game in the past 7 years. So, yes, Northview was supposed to win this game, but they did. And last year, this game was a heck of a lot closer. The Titans really came out, took care of business this season, left it no doubt. Pitching is shutout. Some great performances in this game. Terrence Upshaw, 2 rushing touchdowns. Evan Jacks played great at quarterback. Terry Brown, 2 picks on defense. Hopefully this win, a convincing one, will give Northview a lot of confidence moving forward, and they can build on this success and maybe have a winning season this year.
That would be great for Northview High School. I know a lot of fans there would really appreciate a winning season for once in a while. Well, Johns Creek caused a little bit of a stir last season when they opened with a tough road loss at perennial playoff contender Rome. Picked this one up in the third quarter. Rome looking to put 3 points on the board, but the kick doinks off the uprights. No good. Keeps the game at 17-7, Johns Creek. The Gladiators would then take over, and they would strike quick. Chase Solomon taking the handoff, and he's got a huge hole to run through. Makes a nice move, and he's gone down the sideline for the 75-yard touchdown run. Johns Creek now up 24-7.
Defense stepping up, Sam Arrington blowing up the play, coming in for the stop and the loss.
And that Gladiator defense would keep the pressure on. Chad Barton feeling the heat, gets away from one defender, but Kirby Southard is going to wrap him up for the sack. Johns Creek would take over, but they were forced to punt. Jordan McClure having all sorts of problems fielding it. Eventually caught up to it, and Corey Vaughn falls on it for the Gladiators.
And they would cash it in from there. Sky Overton with the 1-yard plunge makes it 31-7 Johns Creek.
Fourth quarter now, Gladiators driving again. John Grayson, the pitch to Blake Storm. He cuts it back, and he's coming right at you for the touchdown. And Johns Creek wins big, 38-17 over Rome. The Gladiators made a lot of waves last year, so do you think they can have a good season this year?
Absolutely. I mean, this kind of sends a message to the rest of Region 7, in my opinion. I mean, Rome, a perennial playoff contender, coming to Johns Creek. It was a close game last year when Johns Creek lost at Rome, but Johns Creek really took it to Rome this season. A huge win for them, but kind of puts them on the radar of the other teams around the region. They're not going to sneak up on anybody this year. I mean, people knew they were going to be good, but they might be even better than people thought they were going to be, which kind of, you know, could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. Teams are going to be expecting it.
Exactly. It's always tough when you have that bullseye on the back. But time now to recap the rest of the week. One football action from around North Fulton. And we start with Centennial Knights.
A big win for Centennial, 27-22 over Campbell. Centennial put together a 14-play, 71-yard drive, which ended with a 1-yard rushing touchdown by Jimmy Meyer with just 44 seconds to go. Corey Grimes intercepted Josh Miller's pass with 4.4 seconds left to seal it for Centennial. Campbell, a much improved team under Harris Rainbow. Big win for Centennial.
So we had... And now we have the now we have
Milton. Milton, a big win over Cherokee, 38-14. Milton scored 21 points in the fourth quarter to kind of blow things open. Howie DiCristofaro regime gets off to a good start with the victory. Colin McElroy, 9 of 12, 99 yards. Trayvon Polk rushed for 216 yards and 3 touchdowns.
And Alpharetta wins late in their game.
Yeah, another come-from-behind win. Joshua Dobbs threw an 11-yard touchdown pass to Nevin Harton with 13 seconds to play as they defeat North Cobb 29-26. Alpharetta wasted a couple of scoring opportunities late in the fourth quarter, but it didn't matter in the end as they get a great come-from-behind victory.
Wesleyan had a long trip and a tight game against Seminole.
Another close one. Wesleyan scored on a 60-yard screen pass, Will Anderson to Rodney Morris with less than 2 minutes remaining to defeat Seminole County 43-40. In that long road trip, Anderson finished with 392 yards and 5 touchdowns. Wesleyan actually trailed 28-14 in this game. A big comeback for them.
And Kings Ridge pitched a shutout.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of expected. St. Francis just getting that program going, but still good to get a victory, 34-0. Therese Miller, a freshman, ran 15 times for 166 yards and 2 touchdowns to lead Kings Ridge. Only 8 seniors on this team, so a very young team, but a lot of big things expected out of them. They'll play host to Lakeview Academy this week in game number 2 of the season.
Well, 5 teams and 5 wins for the North Fulton schools, but out of all those victories, what impressed you the most?
I think it was the comebacks. I mean, just unbelievable. A couple of these teams had their backs against the wall. Wesley and Alpharetta, Centennial, they were down late, found a way to rise up and get a victory in week 1. I think that says a lot about your team, a lot about the coaching staffs around North Fulton. I think this is going to do a lot for their confidence moving forward. If you know that you're always in the game and you can win it late, that's going to bode well for your team in the long run.
Without a question. All right, well, that will do it for this week. Catch us back here on Comcast 25 next week for game highlights and features. Also, remember to check us out online at nfpreprally.com. For Nathan Shutter, I'm Teddy Williams. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you under the lights.
Grab some wood there, bub.